It is summer, and welcome to my mid-year freak. No, what's it called? Mid-year freak out tag. Mid-year freak out tag? I think I'm getting it right. Okay, it's about books and what books I read in the first half of 2026. I changed some of the questions a little bit because a lot of the questions in this tag is also about what books I want to read, and I have made some TBR videos. So instead of repeating myself, I just made some of the questions more fun and about the books that I already have read in 2026. So, yeah, welcome. My name is Nana, and I hope that you will enjoy this video. Yes, okay. So, how many books have I actually read this year? I have not counted them yet. 27 books. So, I am a little bit behind because last year I read 66 books. But I will say I have read a whole lot of romantasy and fantasy, and these books have been so chunky. So I think it is okay. But yeah, I am a little bit behind. Damn it. The first question is, what is the best book that you have read so far? And I have four books, actually. I have the Fourth Wing series, or the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, and I only own the first one, Fourth Wing. This is so good. It is a romantasy series. I also made my husband read this, and he absolutely loved it too. So the fantasy part is pretty good. You know it's good when he likes it too, you know? Anyways, this is about Violet, and Violet goes to this Dragon Rider Academy for military service. Her mom is this big general, and she is forcing her to go to the Dragon Rider Academy. She wanted to be something else, but her mom says absolutely not. A lot of people are dying at this school because then you sort out the weakest ones. That is kind of like the policy there. We don't want weak people here, so yeah, it has a lot of Hunger Games vibes in the way that people, go. So exciting. There are so many things that I need to know. The third book was so good too. I know a lot of people didn't like that one as much as the first one, but I just find it so exciting, and I love the series, and I love all of the mysteries that there is to the series, and I love the dragons. The dragons are funny, and yeah, I cannot wait for the fourth book to come out. And then I have Alchemize by Sin Lin Yu, and I still have 100 pages left. But this is definitely also going to be a big 5-star. This is also romantasy, fantasy, horror book-ish. And it is a spin-off, a fan-based spin-off of Hermione and Malfoy, mixed with The Handmaid's Tale. And then it got so popular that the author decided to make it into a real book, a real story. And I love Kane and I love Helena, and it's so good. I don't want to spoil much more, but this is definitely also going to be a 5-star. So let's move on to something else. The biggest disappointment. I have 3 books. Oh, actually 5, because the first one is a series. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Actually, the first one in the series was okay, The Summer I Turned Pretty, but the next 2 books in that series was bad, or maybe just like a 3-star-ish. But the decisions that were made, it was just ridiculous. I didn't like it, and I cannot spoil it, but I really want to because it's so dumb. Anyways, it is about this girl who goes with her mom and her brother to this vacation house. It is her mom's best friend's house, and her best friend have 2 boys. This main character, the girl, she is in love with one of them, and then she is a little bit in love with the other one, and then both of them, and then none of them, and then yeah, it's a lot. That's all I wanted to say about this one. The third book in particular, that was just no. Then we have Recursion by Blake Crouch. It's not a bad book per se, it's just going to be a freestyle. I read Dark Matter last year, and that one was so good. It was a very good thriller, action thriller. And this one, I guess, is a little bit similar to that, but it was just a little bit too repetitive and a bit too long, I think. I have heard if you read Recursion first, then you might not like Dark Matter as much, and then the other way around. Because maybe they are too alike, or I don't know. But yeah, that one was only going to be a freestyle. And then I have the Safekeep, and this is a Dutch book. And it was just really slow and weird in the beginning, and at the last 100 pages, it got good. But it was really long up until then. And you do follow this woman who lives in this very big house on the countryside. Actually, her brother owns the house, but she's allowed to live there. It's right after the Second World War, so women do not have that many rights yet. Anyways, her brother dumps his new girlfriend there, and he's like, okay, she's going to live here too. And the sister is like, nah. But they develop somewhat of a relationship. Something gets revealed towards the end, and that was very good, but it took a long time. Yes. So, what was the biggest surprise? And that is In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. I saw that Rebecca Yarros also had written some romance books, and I was like, okay, I just needed to read something, so let me try that. And that was a good choice. I gave this book 4 stars. It is about these two people that meet on this airplane, and then the airplane crashes, but they survive. And then they somehow just keep finding themselves in each other's lives. And yeah, it's really good, but it can also be a little bit heavy because he is in the military, and it centers around when the US is pulling out of Afghanistan. So, who is my favorite new author this year? Yes, you guessed it, Rebecca Yarros. I don't need to say much more. So, my newest fictional crush, Cain in this one, Satan in this one. But I will say Ryan, who is the main male character in the second book in the Windy City series, he was such a nice guy as well. Like, a really nice guy. So, yeah. Okay, so newest favorite character, Bryce from Crescent City. She is such a badass. I love Sarah J. Maas. I will say Crescent City was... Am I saying it right? Sometimes I say it wrong. Crescent? I don't know. But Crescent City, that series was only a 4-star for me, and her other series have been 5 stars, but it was still a good series. And then we have Cain and Helena. I love them. And again, Satan and Violet. But you know, Riddock, he is funny. So let's move on. A book that made you cry. The Nightingale. I actually thought that I wouldn't, because I was getting around to the end, and I was like, okay, I know this is going to happen, so I'm not going to cry. But then something else happened, and that was heartbreaking. Then I have books that made you happy or the most comforting read. And I think the Windy City series is definitely a good comfort read, and they are sometimes also funny. But let's move on to the more fun stuff. The most unhinged book. Yesteryear. I just finished this last week, and yeah, this is unhinged. You follow this tradwife influencer, Natalie, and she is really advocating for this lifestyle, even though she's not living it herself. She has nannies, they have workers on their farm. She doesn't really like to be around her children, even though she's really advocating for other women to have a lot of kids. Okay, I just had to change sides. I am getting old. Then you also follow Natalie in a different timeline where she is really getting the real experience as a trad wife. So yeah, that was really interesting, and it's very unhinged. So the weirdest book is definitely going to be I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. And this was a good book. It was really weird. It's about these women that are kept in a cage underground, and they don't know why they're there, and there's always guards around them. And then one day the guards are fleeing, and the women get to escape. And I don't want to spoil much more than that, but It was so interesting, and I was definitely thinking about this book a lot after I finished it. Then we have the most chaotic character, obviously Natalie from yesteryear. But then there's also this thriller that I read, The Push by Ashley something. And this is a story about a mother, and you don't know if it is the mother that is the bad one or if it is her daughter. And that was really interesting. This is a good thriller. So, a book with the wildest plot twist. And that is going to be Never Lie by Frida McFadden. And this book was my first Frida McFadden book. And yeah, it delivered with the plot twist. I have heard a lot about her plot twist, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, but I did like this one. But it was a lot towards the end as well. Yeah, give it a go if you want some unhinged books with plot twist. And my last question is favorite video you made this year? And I made a video about me being 2 years on BookTube, and that was so funny to make, and I did a lot of analyzing on my videos, and it was just so fun to prepare for as well. And I got a lot of positive feedback as well. It was really nice. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite video this year. I am hoping to be able to make more vlogs. I haven't really had that much time because my daughter had a major surgery. She has cerebral palsy, and both of her hips needed surgery. So yeah, I am busy, but I am hoping to be able to make more vlogs. And I'm also hoping that I will be finishing more than 60 books this year, hopefully. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you in another one.